tell you you're the queen of my heart. Please don't deceive me when I hurt you. Just say it the way it seems. Can you feel my love buzz? Can you feel my love buzz? Can you feel my love buzz? Can you feel my love buzz?
All life was created in its present form 7,000 years ago by a fantastical creature from outer space! Bunk!
Good morning, my beauties and bees, and welcome to another wonderful installment of Live from the Hive. I'm going to angle my camera down a little bit more. I don't like being able to see my ceiling. That's kind of like the cutoff point that I'm going for with the camera, but I'm still adjusting stuff in this space to kind of see how I want it laid out. There are a few. Am I really peaky? Okay, let me pull that down a little bit, just to be on the safe side. I don't want to be like peeking and cracking my voice all up. Good morning, my beauties and bees. Welcome. It is Saturday morning. It is November 1st. It is 8:36 a.m. here in the Mountain Times, which means it's 9:36 in Central and 10:36 over there on the East Coast. Folks over here on the West Coast, they are still getting up and stirring at 7:37 in the morning. But we come here every Saturday morning to bring you Live from the Hive. Today is the day after Halloween. I had a crazy, wild, fun night last night for Halloween, being a diva dressed as Beetlejuice. I don't know if you. Oh, hold on. Yeah, we can. Yeah. This was my Beetlejuice costume right here. And it was super cute. I really loved the costume, but I got home last night. I was half drunk and I was tired, so I didn't get my face cleaned up quite as good as I wanted to. So, you know, do with that what you will. And also I slept later this morning. So I had fun. But, well, we're already into the polls, though, so let's keep going. I posted lots of Halloween memes. You know, Halloween's my day. This was not a Halloween costume. Maybe it should have been. I did this Bride of Dracula cosplay back in February. Where's my mouse going? There it goes. Then I had this was last Halloween. This was my Blood Rain. I dressed as Blood Rain last Halloween. Anyway, there's my clown core stuff. That was last weekend at the other Halloween thing I went to. I like to wear the same costume more than once if I can avoid it. At least not more than once in the same audience. But polls. Here we are. These are our polls. We run polls every week to decide what we're going to cover on Cryptic Corner and our Weekend Weird. So, this last week, we had a 3-way tie, which is not uncommon. Mahama didn't get any votes. Nobody wants to see that giant crocodile. What's he even on there for? But we had a 3-way tie between Amityville reprised, Men in Black, and Skunk Ape. And since Men in Black have been on here the longest, we're going to cover that today. But next week there will be a new entry on here, plus these other 3 that were included. So you'll be able to vote if you want to see a further breakdown. I've covered the Amityville. Well, I covered the Warrens, I guess I should say, pretty extensively. But the Amityville stuff has always interested me because it was one of my earlier introductions into like ghost hunting and supernatural kind of claims and stuff. I read the book. Our public library had the book. I probably checked it out more than anybody else in my in my little town. Of course, I probably checked out all their occult books more than anybody else. But if you want to see that, you got to vote for it. Also, Skunk Ape, which is, a lot of people think, oh, it's Florida Bigfoot. He's not really a Bigfoot. He's an ape, or it's an ape, or it's a species of apes. And they may be closely to Bigfoot. Some of the reports are Bigfoot-like, but a lot of them are just are more like big shaggy ape creatures. Now, Mahamba, which didn't get any votes at all, is all the way across the Atlantic in the Congo. This is this massive crocodile that's supposed to live in the Congo. It's not a Nile crocodile or any known species of crocodile. Apparently, it's supposed to be like its own thing. So we'll explore into that. We'll get into some Mahamba. But later on, after we finish looking at these polls, we're going to pop over into Cryptic Corner and we're going to talk about the Men in Black. So stick around. Later in the show, we have a segment we call Weekend Weird. It's just the kind of the cult, supernatural, paranormal sort of stuff that doesn't fit into Cryptic Corner. Here we do a lot of conspiracy theories and things like that. We'll do psychic powers, unlock the secrets of the mind and stuff like that. So, yeah. I mean, you kind of see what kind of stuff we have covered here. Now we have, on the poll this week, we had mystic flowers. I'm going to break down, like I said, it's probably going to be a list. Last time I talked about this being on the poll, it's probably going to be a list of different ones, but these are going to be alleged flowers with magical powers. For real, that's the bottom line. That's what we're going to look at. So if you want to see that, there's actually going to be an overlap with one of our favorite cryptids that we covered. But we'll talk about that when we get it. We got weather control because the elite control the weather. And if you want to learn about controlling the weather yourself, well, you just click on that weather control icon and we move on. And then crystal powers. Crystals have allegedly all sorts of mystical powers that they can lend you. If you learn how to utilize the powers of crystals, I mean, Atlantis was completely runoff crystals, for Pete's sake, and we all know that was real. But today we're actually going to be talking about the secrets of the Last Supper. I got a fun little video that is going to let AI decode the Last Supper. So if you want to see AI tackle this classic painting, then you stick around, okay? All right. And let me say hi to everybody, because good morning, my friends. So we have lots of folks here. Good morning, accurse. Why is this cord hanging down here? I feel like if y'all can hear every time I bump that cord with my elbow. Sorry. Yeah, let me just say hi to everybody. So we got accurse, good morning. Sandy, hello, my friend. Appreciate to hearing updates about the sweater, or the hoodie. If you want some styling Life from the Hive merch, we have t-shirts and tank tops and hoodies. Apparently the hoodies are really good. We have all sorts of Life from the Hive quality products from Fourth Wall, including Pride socks with the Pride butterfly on it. That's the Pride butterfly that appears down below. This one. Yeah. And it will give you it'll give you a independent flair, and you can show your love and support for the Hive. So, and right now that's kind of where my money's coming from. I'm hustling, trying to get some work down here. But yeah, if you want to support me and you want to get something back for your support, then you can go out here and you can get a cool styling t-shirt or tank top or sweater or socks or mug. There's all kinds of fun stuff out there. Go check it out. All right. And then we have Ryan was here. Time to rise and shine. It always shines when you're with us, beautiful. And then we have My Unfinished Song. Good morning. Good morning. Misinterpretations is here. I caught part of one of your streams the other day, babe. Fun times. Yay. Oh, there's our alarm to say, hey, you better get a move on. I just need to cancel that because it's annoying and it interrupts the show. We got, I lost my spot. Hold on. We got Kelly, Detroit Atheist Queen. Good morning. Captive Desk is here. Hello, my friend. Ian Davenport is in the house. What? Good to see you, my friend. John Lovell Jr. Is the Jr. always been there, or is YouTube giving away details about you that you didn't want it to? Ember is in the house. Yep. If I missed anybody, I apologize. I'm just kind of going through. D is in the house. Hello, D. Rainbow Ash is here. Hi. I'm trying to get everybody, but Lil is here. Hello, Lil. Lil was wearing some cute horns yesterday on Ember's show. I love your necklace. I have a necklace like that has a skeleton character on it with 2 skulls. So, are you talking about this necklace? This is kind of like my trademark. No matter what I'm wearing, I'm always wearing this. And it glows in the dark. I have a scorpion belt that matches it in the other room. But I thought I lost it. It was in the bottom of my sock basket. I had a rolled up coil of belts and sunglasses. I'm glad I found it, but yeah. Anyway, I was saying good morning to everybody, but yay, the hoodie is awesome. Provide a few others with some more designs. I'll buy a few more. My old ones take such a beating. Yeah, I need to get some more hoodie designs. I need to design more stuff for my store anyway. And I promised to retire some stuff over the summer that I didn't. So there's, a few things, but we have all these cute, you'll see it when we run our commercial later in the show. We have all these cute CrypticCorner designs where you can get it comes on t-shirts or tank tops, or the Mothman comes on the tank top. But you can get the Southern Fried Sasquatch. You can get a Dogman. If you're from the upper Midwest, maybe you want a Dogman to represent. You can get the Jersey Devil. Are you from New England and you want to be like, hey, Jersey Devils is my team, or whatever. It doesn't look like your sports team logo either, which is kind of nice. None of them do. They're like hyper realistic. It's art I did myself, so with kind of mix it, and I don't want to say like, oh, I drew it. No, I like mixed and matched pictures of different animals and different depictions of the devil and things like that, and Photoshop them. It's not like I'm not making art whole cloth. I always like to try to preface that, because a lot of times people will be like, oh, your video clips and stuff that you play between your streams or between your segments are really well done. I'm like, well, I gotta say that, I'm not doing all the work there. A lot of times it's the like with the Alex Jones things, both of those videos and songs came together. I just tweaked them and added filler stuff. I didn't create those whole cloth. With Alex Jones ones, I always like to speed it up because I love having Alex Jones talking like that, like with the high-pitched voice. It kills me, so I have a couple of those videos that I play. But no, I did not edit those from start to finish. I just don't want to feel like or to be accused of taking credit for stuff I didn't do. I didn't do that, and yeah, the product designs are usually stuff that I've tweaked around with, and not something I've created whole cloth. But there are some things I've created whole cloth, and one of those things, as you can kind of see it poking up, is it over here? Yeah, that's that big tarantula over there, which is what's on the hoodie. That one right there. I did draw that completely. I didn't color it though. I had Easism Art, which was somebody who did a few pieces for me. Oh, they did these ones over here too. They did these ones. But this one, they colored and I drew because I wanted it to be just right. Because a lot of people, when you ask for a tarantula, they have a certain image in their head of what it looks like. Can I loosen that up to get it? Let me see if I can pull it over. I'm trying to see if I can grab it. Just a second. There it is. Okay. So, unlock. Yeah, so a lot of people will change the portions to match with like more like a desert tarantula, and this is a Pulchotheria metallica. So I want to make sure that it's able to be the right proportions. But I like to hide it over here off the screen like it's about to pounce. All right. Anyway, so we looked at the polls, so we know where we are on that. I said hi to everybody. I shilled some merch. Buy some merch, please. Buy a t-shirt. You're going to need a t-shirt anyway. Might as well buy a t-shirt with Bigfoot on it. Or Mothman. Or the Jersey Devil. Yeah. Dogman. There's lots of good choices. Buy a t-shirt. All right. I don't know how to sell things, so I'm just like, yeah. They never put me in sales. They always put me in customer service because of that. And yes, I'm drinking cola this morning because there is no coffee and I'm freaking dying. I'll probably take a nap after the show, actually. Yeah, there should be, doesn't the fourth wall link automatically pop up below? Excuse me. Yeah. It's right there. Yeah, and I'll try to have, what I'm thinking is I should try to have some holiday, excuse me, let me. I'm wanting to get some holiday designs together. I was thinking maybe like a cryptid Thanksgiving and cryptid Christmas tree. I'm trying to come up with a unique art style that I want to use for a line of products on the channel. This more cutesy like, but I don't know. I'll see what happens. Did somebody buy some channel memberships? Did I missed it? Let me go back and look. Heck yeah, they did. Who's your buddy? Always coming through with the gift memberships. And Dragons and Genesis was a recipient. So was Unfinished Socks. Or my Unfinished Sock. Blaster Master. Kalasia. We have Right-Handed Sith. We have Patty Troy. We have Spooky Bed Hair. We have Al Trucker. We have Kristen. And DJ Rat Girl Tika. Oh, I haven't seen Tika in a long time. I hope you're well, Tika. Let's see here. And then loan me $5. I don't have $5. I've been telling y'all I'm broke. Hail Bigfoot. Hell yeah. We hail Bigfoot around here. All right. Are you guys ready for some Cryptic Corner? We really should go to the ER. I'm afraid of hospitals. Because they tend to... I get into this, but they tend to keep me against my will. So I don't like that. I don't like that. It causes me to panic. I get super panicky. Gifted memberships go to random subscribers, not just people lurking in the live chat. Yeah, well, it's people who have been to the live chat is who they go to. So someone who has they don't even have to be on. They don't even have to have watched this stream specifically. They could have watched my channel or my anything I did live or premiered at any point in the past. I don't know how far they go back, but yeah, they'll get a gift membership, and they'll get a notification too that says, "Hey, you were given a gift membership to this channel." And then a lot of times they'll come in the next stream or even later in the same stream and be like, "Hey, thanks for the membership," because it gives them that alert, so it brings more people in. It's a one of the things I do like. I just wish that YouTube didn't take such a big portion of anything you all pay towards me. A way to work around that is the buy me coffee thing, which that's my preferred. If you want to help me out, other than obviously you can cash at me or PayPal me, if you want to, but ultimately the buy me coffee thing is the best way to support, and I can give shout outs to people on there too who give me some love. But like I said, if you want something back in return for your support, obviously there's the t-shirts and stuff. Not that I don't try to give my patrons and channel members. I've honestly considered shutting down my Patreon and focusing on or shifting focus to my other support systems. Just Patreon, it's kind of, my Patreon's kind of stagnated. If you want to support me on Patreon, though, I mean, these are the patrons up ahead. They help me out. They really do. But I haven't got a new patron in months and months, and I don't know if it's because people are just moving away from it or just that I suck. But yeah, you can support me on Patreon. I have tiers that are, I think they're as low as was it $1 or $3 or something like that? There's a really low tier, and you can be out there. I don't post a lot of stuff over there, but I mean, you're supporting us here, and there are certain perks. But I digress. Let's get to some Cryptic Corner. I'm gonna run we'll run an ad or not an ad, but we're going to run a commercial or whatever, and then we'll have Cryptic, and I'll be back with you for Cryptic Corner, and we're going to be talking about the Men in Black. I'll see you over there.
This holiday, grab some eggnog. Let's gather around the fireplace
and I'll be back with you
and celebrate the birth of our blessed Lord with the soothing sounds of a very special Darth Dawkins Christmas collection. Grab some eggnog. 753 wonderful hits.
And I'll be back with you
and celebrate the birth of our blessed Lord with the the soothing sounds
Here we go.
of a very special
Shut the fuck, shut the fuck,
Christmas
shut the
collection.
fuck up.
Grab some eggnog.
You're totally
753
Stop
wonderful
with
gifts.
this.
Are we back,
Don't
Luke?
ever talk me. You're being rude. I'm old enough to be your fucking father, dude. Shut the fuck.
All your favorites are here in one spectacular collection.
You come into my room and mute me. Restore my mic, you fucking troll. Doobie's a fucking asshole I can't tolerate anymore. I've had to quit this server 4 fucking times before.
Digitally remastered and expertly rendered in high-quality audio. Never before has such a splendid compilation been put together.
So the problem with homosexuals is that God made male for females. The Bible is very clear. Don't be queer, don't be queer, don't be queer. Thank you. Bing, 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 bing.
Order with your credit card in the next 30 minutes, and if you manage to successfully render an argument for intelligibility within your godless worldview, you'll receive a beautifully decorated King James Bible, along with your own personally autographed copy of Dawkins' Presuppositionalist Guide, Crushing Atheism. Absolutely free. Merry Christmas, and a blessed New Year.
Boom! You're not server muted. Get out of my room.
All right. Hello, my beauties and bees, and welcome to another installment of Cryptic Corner, where we explore the unexplained, the supernatural, the paranormal and hidden, the mysterious, the alien, the accursed, and the forbidden. I'm your host, Miss Bumblebee, and welcome to the show. We do this show live every Saturday morning at 9:30 Central Time, 8:30 Mountain where I am. But you can join us live, and we will let you participate. You can be part of this chat that's going on this side over here, actually, not over here. The thing that's going over here is the devil dude popping up like a weirdo. Get back down there. Yeah, he's weird. Anyway, you can be part of this chat over here. Part of the live audience that comes and hangs out every Saturday morning, and we open the show talking about cryptids. Well, I say open the show. There's a half an hour of me ranting about life stuff and whatnot before that, just kind of getting things primed and buffered for the show, and we talk about our polls and stuff. But you show up about 8 or yeah, what not 8 o'clock, about 10 o'clock in the morning if you're in Central Time, and come hang out. We do live Cryptic Corner, and you get to vote on what we cover if you follow the channel and hit the bell, and it makes things pop up in your feed when you're scrolling through, and you'll see my polls, and you can vote on them to decide what topic we're going to talk about. It's a good time. yeah, I rarely miss a Saturday. If I do, I think I can count the number of Saturday mornings that I've missed on like one hand. Even at some points when I have to stream from my phone in someone's backyard, I've done that. It's 8 o'clock here. Oh, are you on the West Coast, Equus? 7:30 in the morning in the Pacific time zone, but I set my alarm because this is my weekly decompression time or decompress time. I'm so glad I help you decompress. That's like, oh my gosh, that's like, morning Vandalia. All right, so like, come join me. Like we got friends that hang out and we talk about cryptids. Morning Tux. Yeah, you've been so busy. That's okay. You're always obligated to be here, but I always try to be here for who needs to be here. And that's exactly it. I really have been focusing on doing more just fun stuff that's a distraction from what's going on in the real world. There's enough people covering what's going on in the real world to handle it. So I talk about like 14 and weird shit. Yeah, and like I am like, I don't know, get in trouble for this. Like, I wear possum socks. I'm that bitch. I'm wearing my possum socks. And I'm probably gonna get my channel yanked for that. Can I not show? Oh, I lean too far into the mic. Can I not show my feet? Yeah, I'll probably have to like I'll put a blur filter over my foot when I edit this. Like, oh, you know what? Just cut those 3 seconds of possum socks out because it's too fucking sexy. I wore these last night too, so they probably don't smell the greatest. I need to get in the shower. That's the thing. You know, Halloween part. This is the Halloween episode for people watching this in December or whenever it goes up. It should, like, if editing schedule stays on cue, this will go up in December. But for right now, or maybe January. But I think, yeah, it'll probably be January, actually. But for right now, it's Halloween here. So, I had a Halloween party last night. I drank too much, and then I came home. Like, I was whining about how I barely washed my makeup off, so my makeup kind of looks shitty this morning. But that's all right. I'm making do with what I got. That's not too bad, right? Right. All right, so Men in Black. I missed 2 member chats. What? Let me scroll up and see. Oh, yeah, from my unfinished song, Hail Bree and Hive Sigh, and hail real cryptids, if any. I believe there are some real cryptids, and Vandalia said, I got merch too. I'm reviewing MCU Phase 1 in 6 hours, if anyone is interested. I am actually a MCU fan, or at least I have been in the past. I've kind of like stopped watching MCU stuff here in the last couple of years, though. So I might need to catch up at some point, but I don't see that happen anytime soon. Sorry, I don't mean to miss members chats. There's, I think I got distracted by the gift memberships. But anyway, appreciate all of y'all. Bree has made me laugh. Thank you. I drank just right last night. I drank a little bit too much. I drank probably 1 drink too many. The place I went had these espresso martinis. And if those were like something that were available all the time, I'd probably be an alcoholic by now. We need to talk about the Men in Black, though. I've rambled so much this morning. We've gone 6 minutes into the episode, and we haven't even talked about the Men in Black. I'll probably have to cut a lot of that out. I don't know if I will, though. It's more about you guys than anything, and spending time with you and talking some fun stuff. But let's get into it. So, in order to cover the Men in Black, I have found this channel that's called Maverick Files, right? And it's like their most, I think that they don't make anything anymore. Or they haven't made anything for a year. This was 2 years ago, though. And this isn't the Will Smith Men in Black. This is like creepy, like the Men in Black how they were presented back in the 70s, and maybe I'd even say the 60s. We'll find out. We're gonna learn about it. So you're being gang stalked, John of God. What? Oh wow. This is an interesting channel. They were getting good views too, and they just stopped. Look, 1.5 million views, and they're like, nah, I'm done. Man, if I could get a quarter of that ever on any of my streams, I would, or videos or anything, I would be ecstatic. But wow, Maverick Files no longer producing stuff. It doesn't look like, or maybe they've moved on to something else. I don't know. I don't know their story. I shouldn't judge. But we're gonna get their take on the Men in Black, and I skipped over the little intro thing a bit. So let me know how the audio is when this starts playing. I like this aesthetic though. All this is you take a camera and you point it at the sky and you spin in the trees. You gotta be in the forest, of course. During the day, during the brightest day possible, the brightest part of the day. You do spin in the forest like that, right? And then you take the video, you invert the colors, and you put it on grayscale. And voila, you get this freaking cool aesthetic. I used to use this kind of thing as my background. You can do it like walking through the woods too. If you find a video that's like someone just like, oh, on my walk or whatever, and they're walking through woods like with a GoPro or something, and it's like really pretty and you like the way the forest looks, you can do the same thing with that and invert it like that.
Men in Black. Shrouded, mysterious men who appear whenever stories of alien life forms are being broadcasted. To shut the stories down with bribery, gaslighting, or violence.
Ooh, I like that. Mr. Speak and Spell, and then he's all of a sudden just like, wow.
Before we begin our dive into this phenomenon, I would like to say that the Men in Black theory is so commonly scoffed at that it became not only a massive mainstream comedic trilogy, but even became a kids' cartoon show that aired on Disney. However, there's always been one concept that makes the whole scoffed at theory rather odd. The concept known as a suspension of disbelief. This goes into a rabbit hole in itself, including English lectures and references to poetry, so I'll keep it to layman's terms. When your brain experiences something like a news article or a movie, your brain seems to shut off all logical thinking, simply just so it can remain entertained. Greek philosopher Aristotle even studied this concept with audiences that willingly disconnect logic from reality when watching a play. Psychology critic Norman Holland was even once quoted saying,
"Are you talking about suspension of disbelief?"
Have such trouble recognizing lies. They first believe, then have to make a conscious effort to disbelieve. But what the fuck are the Men in Black? The ideas run wild with
so,
what they...
like, dude, I get that, but, like, maybe I'm jaded. I'm like, I doubt any kind of spectacular claim until I'm given evidence, right? It just seems like the wise course to be suspicious of anything. Maybe it's just being growing up being lied to, realizing that people are full of it. It's the audio.
Actually could be. Are they aliens that work with the government to prevent the population from discovering the truth? Are they secret agents whose entire life purpose is to prevent mass hysteria? Or are they just theories created by the government in order to highlight terroristic threats from happening? Each theory is possible, just the same.
So I thought about including black helicopters and the black sedans in this. But I think that could be like a follow-up episode where we talk about those, because there's people that I get stalked by these. It used to be in the 90s. It was black Lincolns, like a Lincoln town car, with tinted windows. And if they saw the driver, it was a man in black. It was a guy with sunglasses and pork pie hat and all that stuff. But that's where the car from the Men in Black film series came from. But yeah, that's what people would say was following them, and everywhere they went, they would see those, and they'd be like stalking them, and then they'd see black helicopters in the sky, right? And it's all a whole linked together conspiracy. But I thought about including that with this, but I think that deserves its own episode, don't you?
Are impossible. The Men in Black are often described as having olive-colored skin while wearing sunglasses and black jackets that disclose most of their physical appearance. However, UFO historian Jerome Clark has stated that not all Men in Black will appear wearing black garments. The reasoning behind why remains unknown. The Men in Black's behavior.
I mean, no shade at this guy, but he absolutely looks like a Jim Carrey character in prosthetics, right? That's not an insult. So I like Jim Carrey. I'm not trying to throw shade at the way he looks, but he really does. I can't help but notice that.
Remains unknown. The Men in Black's behavior borders on a stalker-like.
Hey, Kristen, did you see your gift membership? You can fly Mothman around now, or do Bigfoot stomps, all that fun stuff. All my members, do some Bigfoot stomps or Mothman do something for Cryptic Corner. Come on, guys. Show off those beautiful stomps.
Personality. When coming face to face with the victims, these cryptids will provide terrifyingly accurate information about the UFO witness, almost as if they had been under deep surveillance for years. According to witness testimonies, the Men in Black can appear confused at our slang terms and day-to-day utensils, such as pens and forks. These testimonies range wildly, and don't often cover the same details as other encounters. And
that's part of what they lose when you talk about the Men in Black and you think about the 90s series of movies and cartoons and stuff. Woo! They call them Bigfoot stomps. Love y'all. But they lose that because you want to make them kind of alien. They're got to be kind of mysterious. Look at all those Squatch stomps. Yeah. Oh, we got some Loch Ness monsters. I need to replace some of these because they're not very good. The Loch Ness monster, you can't even tell what it is. Right? The reason I included it is because, well, that's something I hand drew. Yeah.
They first display interest in the story, as if they are simply recording the story for their agency. But within a short time, their behavior changes, and it becomes clear that they are there to suppress the witness, one way or another. A common idea is by gaslighting the witness into thinking that their encounter never happened in the first place. And whenever confronted, these Men in Black state that they are either with the US Air Force or the CIA, and sometimes can even provide a presentable ID to the witness. But according to several experiences, when verification of said ID is looked into, it becomes clear that the people in those IDs either never existed or
Fred89 at website. That's not a very good fake ID.
Passed away. Theories about the origins of the Men in Black, as stated earlier, range wildly. The idea that these cryptids are confused by daily household items and human phrases helps implement the concept that they themselves are not human. Furthermore, it could be paired with the theory that...
I think that if they are from government agencies, right, and they're from a different part of the country, they might be intrigued by some of the language that people would use in like a rural area, like someone from DC traveling down to the backwoods of Alabama, right? or up into the Pacific Northwest, their language and slangs, or Northern California, their language and slang usage is gonna be weird to them, and they're like, that's a weird thing to say. Just temporally, that's a thing too. But the pet theory that that the Men in Black are from like a outside of time place is also out there. So,
These are aliens who perhaps are working together with the US government to prevent evidence from being publicized. The other theory about the Men in Black being from a deep state secret agency can also hold its ground, as one could say that they are trying to de-escalate public freakouts and decreasing the risk towards the nation's security. Please remember that these are simply theories. After doing some research, I discovered that the Men in Black actually share an uncanny relation to folklore legends about the devil. It's believed that the Men in Black concept began being reported in the 1950s.
Ooh, are we going to talk about the Hat Man and Old Scratch and all those guys? Yes. Good. I love to do a deep dive into the folklore.
60s.
Get it,
However,
Mr. Maverick
some
Files.
researchers, such as John Keel, have highlighted similarities between these reports and old stories about dealing with demonic entities. John Keel suggested that Men in Black are modern-day manifestations of the same phenomena that were earlier interpreted as the devil. In both reports and retellings of encounters, it always comes across that neither the Men in Black nor the devil are ever quite human, and that witnesses often discover this fact midway through an encounter. Whether it's finding out that the silver-tongued dealer suddenly has goat legs, or that the quote-unquote news reporter gathering information actually have olive-colored skin. The meaning of this parallel, how
I used to get told I have olive-colored skin. I put on my makeup though, so maybe you need to, get like a pallor going on right now. I'm gaunt. Which is kind of crazy because we had a pool and it was a summer, but like I don't go out in the sun. Ouch. It hurts us.
However, has been the subject of debate and could simply just be of wild coincidence. A coincidence that goes even further on when you look into Salem witch times and discover that the term the Black Man was used to describe the devil or agents of the devil. I'm gonna pause right here and say to keep in mind, it wasn't the word black, but rather the much more offensive word. However, the use of the term did not relate to African descent whatsoever, but rather, it meant the entity appeared to them literally.
You can tell. I can't tell you how many times that I have spent standing at the crossroads with my guitar, waiting for the devil to come teach me how to play like a savant. He never shows up. He always stands you up. So,
colored in black, or wearing black outfits. Two prime examples, as pointed out by academic.com, was the story The Devil and Tom Walker, in which, in the story, Tom asks the Black Man who he is. The man begins to spin a story as he beats around the bush, saying that since the Indians are gone, he watches over the acts of various religious people, and is the master of the Salem witches. Tom replies that he must be Old Scratch, which was a common slang nickname for the devil, to which the Black Man acknowledges that he is, in fact, the devil. The other prime example is from H.P. Lovecraft.
Y'all gonna flip when you find out that I'm Old Scratch.
When he used the Black Man as a synonym for the devil in his book, The Dreams in the Witch House. Lovecraft also goes on to use the same term for his entity, Nyarlathotep, the Crawling Chaos.
And he named his cat after that character too, but he used the traditional term. And yeah, don't get me wrong, he was a blatant and over-the-top racist, but the folk character is a valid folklore character, right? That the cat was named after. It wasn't like he just was being blatant there. But nobody calls that folklore character by that name anymore because of the taboo, which is, obviously is apt, to be a taboo. We shouldn't use that word at all in modern times in decent society. But the history of the Shadow Man or the Black Man or the Hat Man was very similar. You all remember the Hat Man figure, with the bowler, and it's on all the neighborhood watch signs and things like that. So the Hat Man also comes and visits people, like the hag that we covered recently. So it's an archetype sort of supernatural entity.
I probably got that wrong, but you get the point.
Gnarlhotep.
Holy shit. I wonder if Lovecraft's cat wasn't named as like a gag, but rather because he was literally naming his cat the devil, since cats were often thought of as being agents of the devil. Anyway, off topic.
Oh my gosh, Ryan, your mom saw the Hat Man? We gotta sit down and do a little interview about that, okay? Maybe like 10 minutes. Something I can run short. I want to start running like the segment before that right now I did the one I just did, like the music thing on and whatnot. I want to start doing like little clips of interviews with people, because my friend Minnow, she has a story about skunk apes. So if I could like throw together little like 5 to 10 minute short stories or reports for intermissions. So if you've ever had ghost experiences and stuff, and I'm not gonna like challenge you on them unless you want me to, I'm just gonna let you tell your story, and I'll let it play on here at my intermissions. Anyway, poltergeist was the scariest thing I've ever experienced. You've experienced the poltergeist. Interesting. I would love to hear about that too. The offer stands to you. The movie Poltergeist, though. Okay. Like you've never actually experienced a poltergeist activity. Me and my brother, when we were, I keep making the mic peak when I lean in like that. Me and my brother, when we were kids, making sure my mic was set right. When we were kids, we would try to set up poltergeist activities with pull strings and stuff. We never did get any of it on video, though. Like we would always talk about, we're gonna do this, and we'd do like set up stuff in the basement and whatnot. But we wanted to get the grandpa's video camera down and make silly videos. Prixie Purple. I saw a ghost, but I don't believe that it was real. Interesting. I'd love some details on that too. So yeah, bring your experiences to me. I'm trying to expand on the channel in that direction, right? I've been through a lot of molts on this channel. It started off as a bug channel. I literally, I shouldn't say, I started off as a bug channel because I did that before I even made produced material, where I would go to different reptile shows or herp shows, and I would look at my curviness, and I would review or talk about the different animals that I saw, and when I bring my own home, I would show them off, centipedes and spiders and stuff. And I did that for a little bit, and then the murder hornets thing happened, and I'm like, okay, so I better cover that. So I made a video about murder hornets and the hoax about it, and that there's like murder hornets isn't a real thing, and blah blah blah. Anyway, I really enjoyed doing that, so I followed it up with a video about the giant spiders of the Congo, and in Java Fofi is what it's called, and there's Hercules. Is it the Hercules baboon spider? Yeah. Anyway, I digress. And so the channel turned into, I started talking about like folklore, mythology, and cryptozoology right then and there. But the the community I found myself in were really wanting to do counter apologetics and stuff like that. So I really started doing science-based counter apologetics to things like young Earth creationism and stuff like that, and dinosaurs live with man, and evolution's not real, and all this silliness. And I did that for quite some time, and I did debates in that circle, but I burned myself out on that really quick. You can only do, like, yeah, you can still see remnants of it, because like I have Darth Dawkins response stuff, because I debated Darth Dawkins. I debated Darth Dawkins 3 times. So, yeah, twice before my transition and once after, and I'll tell you, he treated me a hell lot different.
Point I was getting at is, the Men in Black theory shares quite the odd similarities to folklore tales about meeting the dead.
I'm losing my spot. I wanted to say, now I'm trying to focus more on just doing the cryptids and aliens and ghosts and supernatural and conspiracy and all sorts of stuff like that. So that's the focus of the channel moving forward.
The devil would appear when you're at your most vulnerable, offering you a life-altering deal at the cost of your soul. The Men in Black would appear when you are at your most vulnerable, offering you a peaceful, non-violent life if you just keep your mouth shut. I mentioned it fleetingly earlier, but there is the theory that the Men in Black are government agents from a secretive branch out to protect the nation's security. Famous UFOologist William Moore stated that the Men in Black belong to a secret unit of the Air Force, known as the Air Force Special Activities Center. However, it's speculated that this theory stems from a false breadcrumb that was spread by the US government, referred to in the movie Mirage Men.
My supervisors told me, listen, we don't want him to go out to the public, go on camera and say, hey, I just tapped into...
Oh, hold on, I got some comments here. Talking about seeing. Okay, it was when I was on a 11 on a ghost tour. I was it was after I was usually asleep and was very primed to see something. Yeah, there. I mean, your brain gets you primed to experience something supernatural, and anything that you hear, your brain generates a source for it, Nick. Sometimes it can get pretty spooky if you're in a haunted location. I still get primed. Watching a scary movie will prime your brain, right? Like, watch a scary movie, like a real scary movie, not a cheesy scary movie or anything, or horror comedy, or anything, like something that's really scary, especially something that hits just cerebral, right? And then like at night, and then walk to your kitchen or whatever with the lights off. It'll tingle. The hairs in the back of your neck will respond. My favorite insect by far, spiders. I used to catch and keep upwards of 10 to 20 or more spiders I caught in the wild. I have a spider right here. She's sleeping right now because she's a night girl, but yeah, she lives inside that skull. And she's asleep. And her name is Sweet Caroline. So, I don't want to say spiders aren't insects, but I think I know what you mean, arthropods, creepy crawlies, bugs, right? But they, the fun thing about insects is a lot of people don't realize that they are a subset of crustaceans. So, yeah, the only arthropods that fly that I know of are crustaceans. Isn't that wild to say? I will not watch anything scary or morbid. Don't miss Holy Spirits this afternoon. I think actually Ben is doing a live thing today instead. Do you ever talk about cow killer ants? Yeah, I used to have. If you go way back on my channel, there's just aquarium videos. And I had a desert Southwest aquarium with blue death fiending beetles. We had red velvet ants, and we had giant chocolate and giant golden millipedes, both. We had desert isopods, even the yellow spotted isopods. It was a beautiful little setup I had. It was in this big, long aquarium. So they had plenty of space. I'll tell you what, velvety ants never stop walking. They're crazy like that. I have a tiny orb weaver in my bathroom windowsill. It doesn't have a screen, and I leave it open almost all the time. Wow, I had the audacious jumpers, granddaddies, black widows, green lynx, and brown recluse. Maybe a couple of names are wrong. I left out a few. I've had in my collection, I used to have, like I said, you go back and look, I had aquariums all behind me. But I've had black widows, and I've had brown recluses, and I've had green lynx spiders. Let me look what else you got on here. I've had a few different jumpers, bold jumpers. Granddaddies, are you talking about the cellar spiders, or are you talking about harvestmen? I guess that make a difference where you find them. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, I think we've all had all the same types of spiders. So yeah, you're a girl after my own heart.
A secret laser on Kirtland Air Force Base. Obviously, we can't have that happen. So all I had to do was say, well, you know what, Pa? Maybe what you did see was UFOs.
In which the government purposely fabricated UFO stories and fictional details and fed them to popular UFOologists to throw them off trail. The reason for this was simply because the government was afraid that conspiracists would begin snooping into Air Force secret files and publicize details that would be deemed as detrimentally unsafe during the Cold War era.
The idea that these are government agents is probably what I would go with ultimately. I mean, maybe they aren't. I think they are, but that's what my suspicion is. OMG, green lynx spiders are my favorite. Besides jumpers, everyone loves jumpers. Yeah, they got the big eyes. I would suggest that the metamorphosis of the moth and the butterfly is not a change in nature, just physiological, literally like the difference between a baby and an adult human. Yeah. I've currently got at least 5 of those huge yellow and green spiders around my house right now. Good morning, John Fabiano. I can see myself doing the same as if I were in the same situation. How was everybody's Halloween?
John C. Sherwood would go on to write a book titled Gray Barker, My Friend, the Mythmaker, describing the time at the fresh young age of 18. John cooperated with Gray Barker as Gray urged him to develop a hoax story, in which Barker published. The false story entailed what Barker called Black Men, 3 mysterious UFO inhabitants who silenced Sherwood's secret identity, Dr. Richard H. Pratt. If it was not implied already, this story was entirely made up by Gray Barker, and John was used as means to publish a fake story for either discrediting purposes or to throw off theorist fanboys. But this is not the only encounter with the Men in Black. September 1976. Dr. Herbert Hopkins was home alone at his main residence, choosing to work on a UFO case while his family went out to the theater for the evening. Shortly after his venture into the case, Hopkins would receive a phone call from a stranger who claimed to belong to a regional UFO investigative group project. The man proclaimed a strong interest in the same exact case and asked if he could visit Hopkins that evening to discuss it. Usually, Hopkins would be skeptical and closed off about his research, but for some reason, that night, Hopkins agreed. Only minutes later, the man arrived.
He used
Hopkins'
the flashy
house
thing.
has a glass door, so it caught him by surprise to not see anyone through the door. Yet after opening it, there approached a man in what was described as wearing a dark navy suit, with dark gray gloves and a bowler-style hat. He would later go on to state that he didn't even see a car, nor were there any phone booths nearby. Curiosity leading him forward, Hopkins invited the man inside and they discussed the case. Or, I guess I should say, Hopkins discussed the case. The man simply sat and listened, only responding seldomly by saying,
"Yes, that's how I understand it."
Man, bro has robot voice and you let him in your house. Shame on you. Never let people with robot voices in your house, Hive. Yeah.
At one point, the visitor managed to brush his mouth with the back of one of his suede gloves, which revealed a red mark, lipstick, on the back of the glove. Hopkins found this strange, and having his attention now drawn to the stranger's mouth, he found that the man...
Let the Men in Black guy have his lipstick. I have my lipstick from my dear friend Ryan.
appeared to have no lips, as most would have, but instead only a thin slit on his face. The lipstick, Hopkins theorized, had been worn to help create a lip-like appearance for a mouth, in which, in truth, he had none at all. During the conversation, Hopkins had his hands in his pockets, and the visitor suddenly commented that there were 2 coins in Hopkins' pocket. Able to confirm that 2 coins were indeed in his pocket, Hopkins was then asked to take out the coins. Then, while holding them in his hand, Hopkins began to watch as one of the coins would take on an odd, quote-unquote, fuzzy appearance. Then, within seconds, the coin vanished.
Bro's doing sleight of hand tricks. Was this he's like, is it okay if I come in and practice my up close magic on you? I do not do up close magic, by the way.
On this plane.
I wish I did.
See that coin again.
The visitor reportedly said. He wanted to know if Hopkins knew how Barney Hill, a UFO witness and abductee, had died. Hopkins said that he believed it had been a heart attack, to which the visitor interrupted.
Barney Hill died because he did not have a heart, just as you no longer have a coin.
Afterwards, the visitor would begin to interrogate Hopkins about his recent UFO case. He never asked questions. He would only speak as if about his recent UFO case. He never asked a UFO witness and abductee had died. Hopkins said that he believed it had been a heart attack, to which the visitor interrupted.
Barney Hill died because he did not have a heart, just as you no longer have a coin.
Afterwards, the visitor would begin to...
Aliens like, I can rip a motherfucker's heart out like that coin. Do you want that to happen to you?
Interrogate Hopkins about his recent UFO case. He never asked questions. He would only speak as if he already knew all of the details that Hopkins had. He didn't ask me. He didn't tell me. He just said it, Hopkins remarked. Upon confirming that he did in fact contain crucial information, the visitor simply said that Hopkins will destroy the evidence and documents. He was not told with anger, persuasion, nor with any indignance. Hopkins simply was just told that he would do it. But he couldn't help but feel threatened, as if the comment about Barney Hill's fate was a hint towards what could happen to himself if he didn't follow through.
So, what is this? What is the Men in Black's power exactly? They, like, making the coin disappear is a neat trick. Was he, I mean, that's a subtle threat, but Bro said he saw it, like, fade out of existence, which is interesting. I don't know.
He did not say he would come back or anything, Hopkins said. He would know when I done that. Gotten rid of the tapes. Eventually, the visitor would leave, with Hopkins commenting that his demeanor had changed. He became slower with responses, spacing out his words further apart, before finally announcing,
My energy is running low. Must go now. Goodbye.
The visitor got up and began to leave the house, with Hopkins commenting that his walking was almost robotic in nature. They stepped outside, and the visitor walked around the corner of the house and completely vanished into thin air. A blue light was reportedly seen by Hopkins, as he described it like headlights. But there was no evidence of...
Bro got picked up by his ride? I don't know. And they had blue headlights.
A vehicle anywhere nearby. Albert Bender was famously known for his love of the uncanny, even going as far as having an attic made out of fake skulls, shrunken heads, and disturbingly bizarre art, which he titled the room The Chamber of Horrors.
That's some Ed Gein shit right there.
However, when
fake skulls isn't the shrunken heads. Are they all fake?
One of his more infamous interests was his love for the unexplainable flying saucer reports, eventually going and forming the International Flying Saucer Bureau in 1952, referred to as the IFSB. Shortly after creating the group, Bender would begin to face his own unexplainable occurrences.
Is Aunt Jur asking for an ID on something? Is it doing top chats, the live chat? There we go. Talk about orb weavers.
Sudden illnesses, strange and unsettling phone calls, sulfuric odors suddenly emanating from the attic, and even claimed to have received telepathic messages. Bender would begin to feel that he was being watched, stating that he himself had personally witnessed UFO sightings over southern Connecticut. But these unexplainable happenings would not stop Bender from digging further. He wanted to attempt to combine his research on UFOs with the concept of mental telepathy. And on March 15th, 1953,
mental telepathy,
known as World Contact Day, the IFSB would attempt their first telepathic message. Bender had written and sent out a penned letter asking all recipients to silently recite what he had written, and the message goes as follows. Calling occupants of interplanetary craft. Calling occupants of interplanetary craft that have been observing our planet Earth. We of IFSB wish to make contact with you. We are your friends. A few months later, it would seem that the message was received, but not by friends. Bender was visited in his home by 3 men, going on to say that all of them were dressed in black clothes. They looked like clergymen, but wore hats similar to Humber.
You get visited by proselytization.
Style. At the time, Bender was moments away from releasing a paper to the press, showing all of the evidence pointing towards the US government covering up proof of UFOs. But now, these mysterious men in black suddenly appear on his front door and make it clear to Bender that he was to cease all UFO work. Before departing, the strange men confiscated all copies of Bender's work, his research, personal evidence, and rough drafts.
That sounds like some government black book shit right there, though. Like, I believe that could happen.
Of future IFSB broadcasts. And according to Bender, after they packed up everything, a yellow mist appeared and the men disappeared, only leaving behind the smell of sulfur. Bender instantly shut down the International Flying Saucer Bureau. The final issue of Space Review was released in October 1953 with a warning. We advise those engaged in saucer work to be very cautious. Those close to Albert Bender would state that he was a changed man after this encounter. His later works were rambly, sometimes described as almost unreadable, and that he lived in constant anxiety and dread. He claimed to still receive mysterious phone calls with nobody on the other end, until 2002, when Albert Bender would pass away.
Okay. Yeah, I kind of identify with Albert Bender. I've never been visited by extraterrestrials or men in black, but I live in constant anxiety and dread. Same, babe. Same. Dan Aykroyd.
Famous for helping
Ghostbusters.
pioneer Saturday Night Live, actor Dan Aykroyd would end up developing his own show for the Sci-Fi Channel in the dawn of the 2000s. The show was titled Out There, and on the set of the final episode, Dan steps outside for a smoke break as he goes to answer a call from Britney Spears, discussing a future SNL appearance.
Well, what happened, we sold the show to Sci-Fi Channel, and it was called Out There, and I basically interviewed all of the people that I admired in various fields of study, like Colin Andrews from the Crop Circle movement, Linda Moulton Howe, the expert on cattle mutilations, John Mack. And let me just put a pin in things right there, because John Mack has taken this study of abductions, UFOs, right out through the other side, and he's going, yes, we know they're here, we know they're coming, we know people have been taken, we know there's experimentation going on, we know people have been told about it.
It seems like Dan Aykroyd, I hate to be mean like this, I like Dan Aykroyd, he's an actor and stuff, and a comedian, but it seems like he'd be easy to grift. Like, all you have to do is walk up to him in a Aykroyd. All you have to do is walk up to him in a black suit and be all sus, and he'd be like, yeah, that's an alien.
And what we now have to do is use that as a key and as a motivation to socially transform this planet to a more peaceful, more loving, more tolerant state. So his movement, the movement for social change, has just accepts as a fact abductions, UFOs, interplanetary intervention, and what he's doing is taking it out through the positive side of it and saying, now we must use it to socially transform, and I think his message is great. But I talked to him, I talked to the Allagash guys who were taken in the canoe on that trip in Pennsylvania. The last show we did, I had both Bassett, who has the UFO time clock, and then Greer. Both Bassett and Greer were there. They were my two guests for the day. Well, the show was canceled that afternoon. And I was outside, before I knew it was canceled, in between the interviews. And I was outside, and Britney Spears called me because she wanted me to appear on Saturday Night Live with her.
I want to be able to name drop like that, though. I say Aykroyd would be easy to dupe, but he also gets to talk to Britney Spears on the phone. I'm jealous.
And so I was outside having a cigarette, the phone rang. Oh, Brittany, how you doing? Oh, sure, of course I will. I turned away like this. I turned back, and there was a black Ford across the road, a black Ford sedan. And I was trying to look at the plate, and the plate seemed kind of like fuzzy, and I was, definitely a police car. And two guys were there, and a big, tall guy got out of the back seat. And he stood in the street on 42nd Street it was. We were at 42nd Street and 8th Avenue. And he looked right at me. And literally, I was on the phone. Hey, oh, sure, of course I'd love for the show. Saw the Ford, went back like this, turned back like a half second later, and it was gone. And that car did not go past me. It did not make a U-turn, because I would have seen 42nd Street. I would have seen that thing take a U-turn and go away. That car vanished. That car was a...
Dan Aykroyd is too confident in his own senses, and we've seen this multiple times when we've talked about him on the channel, that he has this idea that his senses are infallible, and his memory is like photographic.
Cloaked vehicle of some type, and whether this was like a warning to me, because the guy got out of the back seat, gave me a real dirty look. That car vanished. I know what I saw, and it was just this fast. It was, oh, hi, Brittany, sure, oh, of course, I'd love to. Guy gives me a dirty look. Oh, well, sure. Car gone. That's what happened. And then 2 hours later, we were told we were not to continue taping, and the show was canceled, and none of them would air. I don't know. I don't know.
Confused, Dan finishes his phone call and returns to the studio to finish up the last episode.
I haven't watched SNL for years and years. Sometimes they'll have a sketch on about something topical, and I'll watch it like on YouTube or something, but I never watch like the full episode. I'm more likely to watch a musical guest segment than I am to watch like their sketch comedy anymore. But back when Dan Aykroyd was doing things, yeah, It was I liked it. Of course, I'm nostalgic and look at it through rose-colored glasses too. There's some stuff in there that really wasn't, like, looking back on it now, wasn't all that funny, but like at the time when I was had a sophomoric brain, it was funny. Like the copy guy, I find that so obnoxious now. Rob Schneider's copy guy, but when I was a kid, I loved it. I do that impression and annoy people with it because I thought it was so funny. Of course, Rob Schneider's a big disappointment.
Only to learn that his show had suddenly been canceled and he was ordered to stop filming immediately. All 8 episodes have never been aired, and to this day, Dan Aykroyd strongly believes that there is a connection between the Black Ford, the mysterious figure, and the cancellation of his show. The story originally begins from witness Ken Arnold, as in June 1947, he claimed that he saw 9 shiny UFOs flying at speeds estimated.
I mean, I'm not trying to blame anybody specifically for my own brain shit, but yeah, like stuff like SNL, a lot of the comedy stuff from the 90s and early 2000s really made me internalize my transphobia and hate that part about myself, and like kept me in the closet. So like as a queer person, like even though I enjoyed the comedy, watching it and seeing, you know, Adam Sandler and David Spade and drag and stuff, I was like, being assigned male at birth and being and presenting as a woman and living as a woman is a joke. It's comedy. Make fun of it, laugh at it. It was so much internalized that it took me almost 40 years to come out of the closet. So there's that.
At 12,000 miles per hour. His story gained him mass fame, allowing him to go out and investigate the original area. There, Arnold would interview another fellow witness, Harold Dahl. Dahl described seeing 6 donut-shaped objects in the sky just 3 days prior to Arnold's experience, even watching as one began to, quote-unquote, almost shed off its skin. He described it as watching thousands of newspapers fall before realizing that it was many shards of metal falling to Earth. Afterwards, little rocks would begin falling out of the sky, breaking his son's arm, and ending with killing Harold's dog. The family returned home, bruised and terrified.
Wait a second, now the Men in Black can make it rain rocks? Little rocks would begin falling out of the sky, breaking his son's arm. Yikes, like, skyfalls are a thing, but does the Men in Black have flying rock cannons? Invisible flying rock cannons?
Dahl told the story to his boss and friends, only to then be visited the next morning by a mysterious man dressed in all black. The stranger began telling Dahl's story in magnificent detail to Dahl before pausing and saying,
"What I have said is proof to you that I know a great deal more about this experience of yours than you will want to believe."
The man urged him to not discuss the encounter, and not long after this experience, Dahl was then visited by several men who claimed they were with the Air Force. These men claimed to be on a mission to quote-unquote gather information about his story, which would even lead to the FBI writing a report on the matter.
Black rocks?
But everything would come to a screeching halt when Dahl would come out to publicly announce that his experience was simply fabricated, fiction, made up entirely for entertainment. Afterwards, Dahl would return to a semi-peaceful life following this shocking announcement. But it wouldn't be until many years later that Dahl would clear the air about the story, stating that it was only announced as false due to strange personal threats towards his family.
Doom, doom, doom. I need like a sound effect that does that. I have sound effects that make certain sounds. But I don't got one that says do, doom, doom. I do. Oh, I have one that I think would fit. Hold on. I forget which ones I have anymore. I have lots of them. Oh yeah, it's just woo. Like if you do this.
Earlier in this video, I discussed the connection between folklore and the myth of Men in Black, which was a...
It'll do that. Thank you. I like this dress too. It's got a, I didn't notice it had this because I can like see it in the on the camera, but it has some dark spot right there. I don't know what caused that. Thank you, though.
Originally highlighted by folklorist Peter Rochowitz, he himself, though, has also had his own experience with these very cryptids. However, for either privacy's sake or for entertainment purposes, in Peter's story, he went by the name of Michael Elliott, assumingly out of fear of his story coming true once more for him. It's 1987. Theories about the Men in Black have existed for over 3 decades by this point, and Michael,
yeah, I don't have
Peter, was keen on listening.
I don't have a command index. I should make one, though.
To UFO stories. So one night, Michael enters the University of Pennsylvania's library and loses himself in tales and stories about these flying saucers. He was in the midst of reading a UFO book that his professor had recommended to him, when suddenly, in the corner of his eye, Michael notices a black pants leg and a black shoe. Looking up from his book, Michael sees what he described as a very gaunt, very pale man. He wore a black suit, black shoes, a black string tie, and a bright white shirt. The pale man with a thick accent begins to discuss the UFOs, before asking if Michael himself is interested in the concept as well. Michael states that he isn't interested in the concept itself, but rather is simply interested in the tales about them. The man suddenly gets agitated, yelling, "Flying saucers are the most important fact of the century, and you're not interested." Michael states...
So that sounds like maybe he just ran into a UFO fanboy. I've talked to these people. I'm in like lots of Facebook groups and stuff where they're like this. Like if you say, "Oh yeah, that's just like," I dismiss the like in these groups, and they'd post about the drones in New Jersey. Like what was that last year? That they're UFOs and stuff like that. I'd like, no, just that's stupid. These are not UFOs. This is these are drones that somebody is testing, and it's supposed to be secret, and the Trump administration's fucking up. And they would like come and glued on me like this, and like these are flying, UFOs, unidentified flying objects, UAPs, and they're so important. So I wouldn't put it past this was just a fanboy.
It's that he tried to calm the man down before the stranger suddenly rose out of his seat, quote unquote, as if mechanically lifted, and spoke in a completely contrasting, calm tone. "Go well in your purpose." And he walked away, leaving Michael feeling full of anxiety and dread. The man was never seen again, and the story haunted Peter so much that he would only admit that he was Michael Elliott many years later when retelling the story for a class. November 1961. Air Force worker Paul Miller was returning home to North Dakota
this
after
is all
a hunting
happened
trip
a
with
lot
his friends,
earlier than my
when
general,
all 4 of them saw what they could only
I
describe.
generally think of as Men in Black encounters. I guess I think like the late 70s, but maybe that's because of the culture that I grew up in.
As a luminous silo landing in a nearby field. Thinking it was a plane crashing, they quickly went to investigate, only to watch as the quote-unquote plane vanished from sight. As they drove off, confused and startled, the silo reappeared out of thin air as 2 humanoids emerged from it. Miller fired his gun at them and was believed to have injured one before everyone else fled away from the scene. But on their way home, all 4 of them experienced what could only be described as a blackout, and all 4 of them claimed to have lost several hours of their time. Scared and even more confused and startled, they all agreed to not report the incident to anyone. Yet, the very next morning, when Miller...
Here we are. Maybe they did to keep their promises. That's the problem with kids these days, and by these days I mean 1961.
Reported to work at the Air Force. 3 men in black suits confronted him at his desk. They said they were government officials, but showed no credentials, and discussed that they had hoped Miller was, quote-unquote, telling the truth about the UFO. Miller asked how they knew about it, when no one spoke a word about it. And even if one of his friends did open up about it, the experience happened just the night prior. All of the men in black said was,
"We have a report."
And Miller left it at that. They seemed to know everything about me, where I worked, my name, everything else, he said. He stated that they also asked leading questions about his experiences, as if they already knew his answers. Due to the frightening encounter,
in most small towns, it's easy to find out where someone works and what their name was. What else did they know that they shouldn't have known?
Miller would go years before opening up about this experience. Danny Gordon was originally a radio personality who later became intrigued in flying saucers once his home county, Wythe County, began mass reporting UFO sightings. Multiple people across Wythe would come out and claim to have seen bizarre objects in the sky, leading Gordon to investigate. Gordon became obsessed with trying to get photos of UFOs, including a time where an entire school bus of students saw the UFOs flying over a shopping mall as Gordon took photos. Eventually, Gordon would capture photos at an extremely close range that allegedly verified that UFOs were not of this world. However, strange things began happening to Gordon at this time. One in particular was when he received a phone call from a man who claimed to be ex-military, who warned him that this rabbit hole could cost him everything, finally urging him to stop for his family's sake. Gordon would continue onward, not deterred by the vague threat, before finally being interviewed by 2 men in black suits. They started off by claiming they worked for a magazine publication, and after the interview, Gordon suddenly realized that all of his photos were missing, either stolen or destroyed. He contacted the magazine for information, to which they claimed to have never even heard of Danny Gordon, much less sent anyone over to write an article about him. Not long after, Gordon would suffer a heart attack, yet fortunately, he would survive.
See, it's always like, oh, they had a heart attack. That must be part of the thing. Ooh. That's like the King Tut's tomb. And 40 years later, this guy had a heart attack. It's the curse. That's the curse. I guess the idea is that all the people who, with these cursed items of the Hope Diamond and mummies and all these things that get passed down through royal families being cursed, it's like, oh, this pampered person actually died of a heart attack.
Covered, Gordon's doctor warned him that all of the research and stress was only putting him and his health at risk for the future. After this, Gordon would finally give up his chase and was never bothered again.
The Robinsons.
Back in the 1960s.
This is the one the movie I remember was based on, I believe.
There was a married couple that were investigating UFOs in Jersey City, named Jack and Mary Robinson. And in 1968, their disturbing, strange experiences began when they would return home at night to find that it looked like someone had broken into their apartment and had been rummaging through their UFO files. After this, during the day when she was at home, Mary started seeing a man in black staring up at the apartment from a ground floor doorway in the building directly opposite from them. Mary said he had an unsettling look on his face, that he appeared kind of unemotional and zombie-like. Mary happened to mention this to their friends, Tim Beckley and Jim Mosley, both of whom were also...
Now, was it in October, though, that this guy was allegedly standing out there? Because maybe it was a Halloween thing.
Heavily dedicated to researching UFOs as well. And because the man in black appeared 3 days in a row, Beckley and Mosley decided to drive over early one morning and see if they could witness the man in black for themselves. And sure enough, he was there, staring ahead with black sunglasses, a long black coat, and a voided stare. Beckley, in the midst of the busy morning traffic, managed to secretly capture a photo of the strange man, which he believes is one of the few authentic photos of a genuine man in black.
Ooh. All right, let's look at this. We got, what's like a pork pie kind of hat. So, and like a black waistcoat and like a FBI suit kind of thing, isn't it? With a broad collar, like he's going someplace fancy. He's not dressed for like field work. He's like dressed for the party. Can't really tell his shoes though. They look kind of, his feet look tiny though. Maybe that's how you tell the men in black they have tiny feet. You know?
The idea about theories is that instead of being instantly believed, there should always be ways on how to debunk them. Because despite what the internet has built it up to, a theory is simply just that. A theory. An idea. Aligned coincidences and nothing more. People demanding headlines about their quote-unquote real stories has been such a common happening for so long that the Men in Black stories easily blend in. And, of course, as always, there's never any evidence because somehow it always vanishes. It's a poor excuse.
I thought they wore, like, Brian, I thought they wore, like, kind of those fedora pork pie hats, right? But, like 60s business attire.
Or a poor attempt as an excuse, similar to my dog ate my homework. And it should not be accepted so easily. And yet, seemingly, it is. And one last thing that bothered me about some of these encounters is how many of them went, "Hey, listen to my story. It's completely true."
Oh, yeah. I mean, the use of the term conspiracy theory even is a misuse of the word theory, or use of the use of theory in a colloquial sense. It has to be, because if conspiracy theories were theories, then they wouldn't be conspiracies. It's an oxymoron.
Look at this. Public fame and nationwide attention. Buy my products. Okay, enough of the fame. Hey guys, I was just kidding. It was all a lie. I was making it up. And then several years later, it's just, I kinda miss when people were buying my products. Hey guys, it's actually true again. Plus more conspiracies. But that's just me being an ass. What do you think, though? Do you believe in the Men in Black? Anyways, thank you for watching. I felt like trying out a new idea.
So now I've covered the Men in Black. I should start getting visits from and being followed around by cars. You all know I keep this sucker on me all the time, and always taking selfies and shit because I'm a bad bitch. But we will be on the lookout for black helicopters and black cars. I will add those to the polls eventually, but I haven't yet. And I don't know if I intend to before the end of the year, because I kind of want to space it out from this. I don't want to like Men in Black 1 and Men in Black 2. But we're going to talk about being followed by mysterious vehicles at some point. So don't you worry. But yeah, that was the Maverick Files, Men in Black, the government cryptids. I don't know if I'd call them cryptids. They're something. They are something, for sure. But cryptids might be pushing it a little bit. So that was their channel on, or their channel's coverage of that. But they have other stuff on here, too, if you're interested. The darkest real-life documentaries. Terrifying noises from the internet. What? Ooh, spooky. 2 more terrifying noises. 4 times 4chan warned us. Terrifying noises. Terrifying noises. Yeah. Empty towns. There's a lot of 4chan stuff, it looks like. Go figure. But if you're interested, subscribe. I'm going to subscribe because there's some of the stuff I want to come back to at some point. These terrifying noises videos could be worth watching at some point, too. So, we're going to subscribe. I don't think they're making anything more, so I won't bother ringing the bell, but I want to be able to get back to them. But, like, what do y'all think? When it comes to the Men in Black and UFOs and mysterious visitors showing up at your door, what do you all think? Is it aliens? Is it demons? Is it secret government agents? Let me know in the comment section down below. And yeah, please remember to be kind and take care. All right, and live from the Hive audience. Yes, there's some thigh on the screen now. Don't go anywhere, though, because we got more show to come. Like, lots more show to come, actually. Almost, looks like we got about over a full hour, like an hour and 20 minutes more show for you. So don't go anywhere. This is just the end of Cryptic Corner. We do a lot more on here than Cryptic Corner. And up next is our Weekend Weird, where we're going to talk about the Da Vinci's Last Supper, and we're going to get it decoded. So you're not going to want to miss out on that. So I'll see you there in just a few minutes.
Koalas in the rain, koalas in the rain, no fucks given, koalas in the rain, koalas in the rain, no fucks given, koalas in the rain, koalas in the rain, no fucks given, koala.
Poor little thing's kicked out of the tree. You can come to our tree. Yeah, you come to our tree. Poor little thing. There's plenty of trees. Come on. You're a meanie.
Hello, my beauties and bees, and welcome to our Weekend Weird. We ran the polls, we crunched the numbers, and we have decided that the audience of the Hive wants to see a video about decoding Da Vinci's Last Supper, and we're gonna let AI. They're gonna use AI to do it. It's crazy. The channel I found to do this is Secret World Files. So if you're interested in this kind of stuff, this is probably the place for you. They got like, you got the Baghdad Battery, you got the Easter Island Moas, Rapa Nui. I keep calling it Easter Island. I want to try to get myself in the habit of calling it by its proper name. Ooh, look, Ramsey's awake. He's awake. His eyes are still filled with fluid. I got some Graham Hancock and Ron DeSantis making an appearance. Why aren't these loading? Refresh. Maybe because the channel's refreshed since the last time I had this pulled up. But yeah. They got Ron DeSantis there too. For releasing hundreds of honey badgers. No, they didn't. What? I'm gonna have to look into that and check and see if it's true. If it's true, that's very bad. Anyway, but we're using this channel to decode. But if you want to be part of this, like on Saturday mornings around 11 o'clock, we get to the Week in Weird. But if you come that late, you are going to miss Cryptic Corner, where we discuss cryptids and aliens and ghosts and all sorts of spooky and exciting anomalous creatures. But yeah, if you just want to catch this segment, though, we are here about 11 o'clock Central Standard Time. You can join us and be part of this fun little side chat we have going on. Look at them dropping loves and hugs and everything else there. I guess you guys can't see that from there. But anyway, yeah, my hearts are going off. So join us on Saturday mornings, and you can participate, and you can take part in the polls too. We do a weekly poll to figure out what we're going to cover, right? So if you want to participate in that, it's right here. That's what landed us with the secrets of the Last Supper. So who better to give us the secrets of the Last Supper than the Secret World Files, right? Am I right? Come on now. So here we go. Decoding Da Vinci's Last Supper.
Is one of a long line of artists who have told us, beginning with the ancient Egyptians and running through the early Christians and Tibetans, that art is a medium, it's a conduit.
For over centuries, Leonardo da Vinci's
he's not wrong. It's just a conduit for our brains to be able to convey ideas that are inside of them.
Supper has captivated the world with its lifelike detail and mysterious beauty. When AI technology finally decoded it, historians expected color, texture, and history, not terror. Beneath centuries...
I want absolute terror. I'm loving the idea that there is terror involved with the AI here. Sell it to me.
Of fading paint, the machine uncovered hidden words that no human eye had ever seen. Each line revealed a secret so shocking it made experts collapse in disbelief. What did Da Vinci hide in his masterpiece? And why did decoding it leave the world in fear? The mystery behind Da Vinci's
the world
masterpiece.
In fear.
In the city of Milan...
I'm not even familiar with this particular conspiracy theory too deeply, honestly, because it was so surface level that like you can watch the Da Vinci Code movies and stuff like that, which are really good. I love Tom Hanks, but yeah, but this isn't one I've ever delved into on the channel or in like my personal research. I do consider it like sort of a Shroud of Turin level of conspiracy, but let's get that woo meter up. Yeah, Brian, let's do it.
Inside a quiet old dining hall of Santa Maria delle Grazie hangs one of the most famous paintings in the world, The Last Supper by Leonardo da Vinci. For over 500 years, people have stared at this painting, trying to understand every detail. At first glance, it shows Jesus sitting with his 12 disciples during his final meal before his crucifixion. But many believe there's something much deeper hidden in it. something Leonardo...
Show some different versions of it, too. I remember an Unsolved Mysteries episode about this, I believe.
...never meant to be found easily. Leonardo da Vinci was more than an artist. He was an inventor, scientist, engineer, and thinker far ahead of his time. He loved puzzles, symbols, and secret meanings. His notebooks were full of mirror writing and strange diagrams no one could understand for centuries. To him, art was not just for beauty, it was a way to hide knowledge. And the Last Supper might have been his greatest secret of all. When Leonardo painted...
Have it. We're looking at here. Blah, 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 blah. Okay.
This masterpiece between 1495 and 1498, he broke many rules. Instead of using the normal fresco method, he mixed his own paints and applied them to dry plaster. This made the colours brighter, but it also caused the painting to fade and crack quickly. Still, those layers of paint, the same ones that time damaged, may have helped him hide something underneath. For hundreds of years, people noticed strange things in the Last Supper. The way the disciples are arranged seems almost mathematical. The direction of their hands...
Why? I've drawn groups of people and painted pictures of groups of people and stuff, but... and I don't know. I'm willing to give you the benefit of the doubt. What's mathematical about
their
that?
eyes, and even the way the bread and cups are placed. Everything feels intentional. Some researchers said the objects formed musical notes, like a secret melody. Others believed the person sitting next to Jesus wasn't John, but Mary Magdalene, which could mean Leonardo was trying to say something shocking about the story of Jesus itself. But all these were just theories. No one had real proof. That changed recently when a group of researchers decided to look at the painting in a new way, using artificial intelligence.
Here we go, guys. It's the AI. It's going to break all the rules itself.
2025, a team of scientists from Italy and Japan started a project called Da Vinci Decoded. Their plan was to let AI study the Last Supper in extreme detail down to every pixel. They believed Leonardo might have hidden messages or writing inside the painting, things no human could notice. The team used hyperspectral imaging, a special kind of scanning that captures colors and light far beyond what our eyes can see. It allowed them to look through layers of paint and dirt built up over centuries. Every detail, every crack, shadow, and brushstroke was turned into digital data. Then they fed that data into an AI program trained on Leonardo's handwriting, sketches, and codes from his old journals.
So why don't we do this guy, like, decoded? It's only the Last Supper. I want to can we decode the Mona Lisa? The Mona Lisa is Da Vinci's femme side. I'm going to do an essay on it. It represents the feminine quality, the feminine side within Da Vinci. Pet theory. But I'm not like out here saying, hey, no, this is actually the facts. This is actually what the painting means. I'm just like speculating.
Weeks later, something strange happened. The AI began to pick up patterns no one had seen before.
The Da Vinci painting was pixelated by God. About 7 years after it was completed, God came down and pixelated it for archiving purposes. Ember, you're just wrong. And I can just say whatever I want is true because this is the internet.
Marks that looked like tiny letters or symbols hidden beneath the surface. At first, the team thought it was just random cracks in the wall or old paint damage. But as they processed more images, the AI kept highlighting the same shapes, forming what looked like words. Even more shocking was where these words were appearing.
Yeah, AI is worse than humans at like picking up patterns that aren't there, right? AI is like not good at picking out things like that were intentional. It'll pick up patterns no matter what, because that's how we do. That's how engines work.
Weren't around Jesus or the disciples, as one might expect. Instead, they were hidden in the darker parts of the painting, behind the table, along the walls.
This is supposed to get spooky at some point.
And inside the archways, places no one ever thought to look. At that moment, everyone realized this was not a random find. It was deliberate. Leonardo da Vinci, the man who hid his thoughts behind symbols and sketches, might have buried real words inside the Last Supper. And those words, still half buried under centuries of paint, were only beginning to reveal themselves. And this revelation would rewrite everything humanity thought it knew about Leonardo da Vinci.
Morning, Ben. Morning, Henry. I assume Henry's in there with you. I hear him yelling at you about something.
The AI decryption project begins. The discovery sent shockwaves through the research team. No one expected to actually find anything. The project, called Da Vinci Decoded, had begun as a scientific experiment, an attempt to see how far technology could go in analyzing ancient art. But when the AI started revealing faint letters hidden in the painting, everything changed. The team gathered again inside the quiet lab in Florence, where their work was being monitored. On the main screen, an enlarged image of the Last Supper glowed in soft light. The AI had circled several small areas in red, the same regions that appeared to contain strange markings.
Like Ember's thrown out her own theories. What about the conspiracy that the Last Supper is a student's copy of Da Vinci's long-lost original? I like that one. But behold the screen now, and we can clearly see that it is actually in the Matrix. Look at that. Definitely proof that Da Vinci is the Matrix.
They were located along the stone wall behind Jesus, near the shadows under the table, and even on the folds of the disciples' robes. At first, the marks looked like nothing more than scratches or age cracks, but when the AI enhanced the data using hyperspectral imaging, letters began to appear. They weren't bright or clear, more like faint ghosts beneath layers of paint. Some were tilted, others reversed, and a few were in patterns only Leonardo's mind could have planned. Dr. Elena Rossi, the lead historian on the team, leaned closer to the monitor. I'm
pretty sure these are clips from the Da Vinci Code movies. But I'm just anticipating that when it comes to different paints, especially back then, the only thing that would be consistent was inconsistency with the paints themselves. So some of them would break down at different rates, and some of them would actually could cause the breakdown of the colors next to them or colors that they're mixed with. So you're gonna end up with all kinds of weird, like, patterns, right? That aren't actually meant to be anything, but it's just the way that it decayed because of the chemical composition of the materials used. Just a pet theory of mine.
Had studied Da Vinci's work for over 20 years, but what she was seeing now made her heart race. "These are not random," she whispered.
Why is her heart racing about that?
But not in his time. The AI system had been programmed to recognize Leonardo's style of writing, especially his mirror script, a way he wrote backward, so only a mirror could reveal his words. As the algorithm continued its analysis, it started connecting symbols and matching them to phrases found in Da Vinci's old notebooks. Slowly, fragments of sentences began to form. At first, they were small and unclear. Words like ombra, shadow, verita, truth, and tradimento, betrayal. But as more data came in, the words started to link together, building short phrases that made
I need, like, the pegboard behind me with all the red yarn connecting shit here.
Everyone in the room uneasy. It was as if the painting was whispering from the past. To make sure it wasn't a digital error, the team ran multiple verification scans using different imaging methods: ultraviolet, infrared, and X-ray fluorescence. Every scan showed the same results: The faint writing was real. It was physically there, buried under the surface of the paint. News of the discovery spread quietly through the academic world. Only a handful of people knew.
I want to see your work when you say that these patterns mean that these words were represented in the painting. I want to see your work on that. I didn't see anything that would lead anybody to that conclusion, and I think it's weird that you presented it that way.
Was happening. The researchers agreed to keep everything secret until they fully understood.
But again, I'm not an archivist or a cryptologist or anything like that.
What they were dealing with. The Vatican had been informed only in general terms that new imaging results had revealed unusual sublayers in the Last Supper, but the team decided not to share the exact findings yet. Meanwhile, the AI was learning fast. It began mapping the painting like a puzzle, connecting symbols, geometry, and positioning. It discovered that the letters were not scattered randomly. They followed a pattern, a spiral design.
Show me the letters at all. I don't see the letters. Did I miss the letters, guys? Am I blind? Am I just too dumb for this level of archive conspiracy nonsense? What's going on here? Did I miss the letters? Did you see the letters? I'm gonna run a poll. Let's see if you saw the letters or not. Start a poll. There we go. Running the poll. Now we'll know. Now we'll know for sure.
Line that started near Jesus' right hand and moved outward, touching every disciple in order. It was almost like a code wrapped inside the art itself.
What?
When Dr. Rossi saw it was almost like a code and moved outward, a pattern, a spiral design that started near Jesus' right hand and moved outward, touching every disciple in order. It was almost like a code wrapped inside the art itself. When Dr. Rossi saw the full mapping on screen, she felt a chill. "It's like he hid a message in motion," she said softly, as if the painting itself was meant to speak once the right mind could read it. Then something even stranger happened. While analyzing the data, the AI began producing not just isolated phrases, but full sentences. Some of the Italian words...
So are these the AI-generated versions of it? Is that what we're looking at here? I want to know about their toes. I bet their feet have a pattern too. I bet it's like this is the stock market of like if you follow here, the chair legs are actually the cycles of the Earth, and this is the Milankovitch cycle. That's what it is. This here is the Little Ice Age, right? If you follow, and then all Jesus, 100% Jesus. Are Jesus's feet crossed? What's that mean? What's that mean? And his legs are crossed away from Mary and towards, who's the guy in the green? Does anybody know who the guy in the green is? Because I get the feeling that maybe Jesus was more interested in him than Mary Magdalene, right? Just thinking out loud, but yeah, there's a pattern here, right? In the way that their feet are lined up. And it clearly shows the climate cycle.
Using not just isolated phrases, but full sentences. Some of the Italian words were old, written in the dialect Leonardo used during the late 1400s. When translated, they formed cryptic messages, warnings perhaps, or statements that seemed to question faith and truth itself. One fragment read, "What is seen is not what is true." Another said, "The hands speak louder than the mouths of men." These weren't quotes.
Isn't he just supposed to be saying the, hey, eat this bread, for it is my body. Drink this wine, for it is my blood. Damn, I'm looking sexy today. I like this dress. It really flatters my form.
The Bible, nor from any known text. They sounded personal, like Da Vinci's private thoughts, hidden where no one could find them. The team grew quiet as they read the sentences aloud. Each new scan brought more fragments. Some seemed harmless, while others hinted at something darker, a warning about...
Bring me the fragments. I need the fractals. The fractals of Da Vinci. Maybe I should just
deception
start
and knowledge kept from the world.
time.
To test further, they compared the phrases with Leonardo's personal journals. In several places, the AI found matching words and ideas, the same handwriting style, the same mirror script, even the same phrasing. It was undeniable. Leonardo himself had written these words. As more messages appeared, the researchers started feeling uneasy. The deeper the AI went, the more the phrases seemed to reveal secrets about religion and power, things that could shake centuries of belief.
Really?
One message was particularly chilling. It appeared faintly beneath
Okay. What do y'all think? Do you think that we're going to get some vague cryptic message with no true intention behind it? Or with not no true intention, with like you could apply it to like so many different things that it makes it useless, basically, right? That's what we've come to expect.
Table where Jesus and the disciples sat. When translated, it read, "The truth will rise when reason replaces faith." No one spoke for a long moment after that. The room felt cold. Dr. Rossi finally broke the silence. "If this is real," she said, her voice trembling slightly, "then Da Vinci wasn't just painting a scene. He was..."
Like, if I sit here like this, y'all could interpret all sorts of things from my pose, right? Like, secret messages. Like, what is Bree trying to convey when she sits like that? Is this finger pointed towards something over there off screen? What's the reason the jellyfish's tentacles approach her head but don't quite touch it? Why is the moon and the piranha plant both in the background? And what is the story with the flowers hanging above her head like a halo? Does the lavender dress mean something? Yeah.
Sending a message to the future, to us. The team agreed to keep the results confidential until they could confirm every detail. But deep down, they all knew that this discovery was only the beginning. Something inside the Last Supper had been waiting for centuries, and now, with the help of artificial intelligence, it was finally waking up. The hidden words revealed. Days turned into weeks as the research team continued scanning the Last Supper. The AI system worked non-stop, processing millions of image fragments and comparing them with Da Vinci's writings. Every new scan revealed more words, faintly carved beneath the paint. What began as random letters...
Oh, there's secret words carved beneath the paint, in the cracks, like the way the paint cracks, and the AI is finding, using pareidolia, I guess, to find secret messages. What are we doing? What are we doing?
Now become full phrases, mysterious sentences that seem to speak directly from Leonardo's mind. Each new discovery deepened the mystery. The AI found that the hidden text was not placed carelessly. It followed a pattern that matched the golden ratio, a mathematical sequence Da Vinci often used in his art. The pattern ran from Jesus at the center out...
That's not even Da Vinci's work. But the golden ratio is that it is like the perfect spiral or whatever, right? It's continuous. That's the golden ratio. But this isn't even Da Vinci's work here.
Forming spirals of symmetry. It was as if the message had been woven into the structure of the painting itself, waiting for centuries to be uncovered. The deeper the scans went, the clearer the words became. The AI translated the faded Italian script into modern language. What it revealed sent waves of unease through everyone who read it. The messages spoke of truth, deception, and betrayal. words that carried the same tone as Da Vinci's personal thoughts from his notebooks. It became clear that this was not a coincidence. The hidden phrases were intentional. The first complete sentence appeared beneath the wall.
Was he commissioned to paint the Last Supper? Did he choose to? Let's see. Last Supper. We'll get back to the video in just a second, but let's have a look here. So we'll start at Wikipedia. Alright, so mural painting by Leonardo da Vinci. Commission. Okay, commission for creation. The Last Supper was for the Santa Maria del blah, 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 monastery. So yeah, it was commissioned by the church. So if he had like, because he doesn't seem like, maybe he had secular messages in his painting. I don't know, but I digress. Like, when the church, if the church commissioned me to do something and I had like secret like messages and symbols in there to signal that I'm not a follower of Abrahamic faith as the artist. I mean, you can do that and not get busted doing it, then do it. Just saying. Oh, wrong button.
Behind Jesus. It read, "All faith fades when light reveals the hand of man." The line seemed to question the idea of divine perfection, hinting that what people worship might be created or controlled by human hands. The A then found another message, close to the shadow of Judas, the disciple known for his betrayal. This one read, "He who eats with truth will not betray himself."
So, like, and that's the thing too. I want to use this I want to punctuate this because I'm like not a true believer, right? I'm not a believer in Jesus' divinity or any of that nonsense. So the idea that if a church commissioned him to do this, that he would hide messages, that Da Vinci would hide messages in there, sure. But I just think that they're stretching. Like I would want that to be true. Because, you know, it'd like be like, yeah, Da Vinci was one of us or whatever, you know. But I'm not willing to just accept that because I want it to be true, right? I'm actually going to be critical of it. I'm going to be like, wait a second. You think that he had messages that are only revealed when the paint cracks over 250 years or some shit. And then the secret message will be revealed that he doesn't believe in Jesus' divinity. I mean, come on. It's a stretch. More than a stretch.
The researchers began to see a pattern in the locations of these messages. Each phrase corresponded to a disciple, almost as if Leonardo had left behind hidden reflections about each one.
So there should be like 12 phases then, huh? How many disciples are in here? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All 12 disciples. Was Mary Magdalene one of the disciples? Because I believe that's supposed to be Mary Magdalene right there, right? The 1.168 irrational nut, irrational number, the ratio of two unequal parts of a line where the ratio of the whole line to the longer part is equal to the ratio of the longer part to the shorter part. And that's Brian Stevens providing details on how what the golden ratio is. Sorry, 1.6180 he said. Okay.
Beneath Peter's figure, The AI found faint lettering that translated to "strength without understanding is blind." Near Thomas, who doubted Jesus' resurrection, the writing said, "To question is not sin, but the path to clarity." These discoveries painted a very different picture of Leonardo's intention. It seemed he was not mocking religion, but challenging blind faith, encouraging people to seek reason, knowledge, and truth beyond what they were told. But the words grew darker the deeper the system searched. In the lower right corner of the mural, near the feet of the disciples, the AI detected a longer line that had been hidden beneath
I told you
several...
it was a secret in the feet. I warned you guys. It's gonna be foot stuff. It's gotta be foot stuff.
Layers of paint. After enhancement and translation, it read, "The ones who hold power will bury truth beneath stone, until the eyes of the future uncover it." This single sentence changed everything. It sounded like a prediction, a message Leonardo may have left for future generations, warning that knowledge would be suppressed by those who feared it. The more phrases the team uncovered, the more the meaning shifted from art to prophecy. The AI began grouping the messages by their tone and location. Together they formed a chilling narrative, one that spoke about corruption, falsehood, and the control of truth through fear. Leonardo had once...
So, maybe about the church.
written in his journals that the eyes see what the mind is ready...
You can tell an AI to find something in a painting or a picture, and it will do its damnedest to find it. You can go to Google or ChatGPT or any of these and upload a picture, like any kind of picture. A picture of your kids at the playground, a picture, from your yearbook, right? Anything. And you say, there is a hidden message in the structure and alignments in this picture that conveys a secret message, and then the cracks in the walls and stuff. There's something hidden in here. Please find it, and the AI will do its damnedest to fabricate it if it can't find something. It will find something. You can do it with anything. AI is not capable of critically analyzing the request as being like, hey, I need some confirmation bias. They're not. It doesn't work that way. It's like it takes you at face value. You say, hey, this is a picture. There's a hidden message in here. I want you to find, and it's there. You got to find it. It's something. There's something in the patterns and the cracks and the arrangement of objects and people and the gestures and colors and all that. Please find the secret pattern in this and convey and help me convey the secret message. And you can keep probing it harder about it when the first thing it gives you is not sufficient enough. You can be like, no, probe deeper, analyze this dark portion, analyze these lighter lines in the dark portions, the brush strokes for any kind of hidden message or hidden theme. You can have it do that, and if you're not satisfied with the first, that's what they're talking about, further analysis, because they push the AI to dig in deeper. And they're like, more, I need more. Gotta be something more
to comprehend. Now, it felt as though he had hidden that same idea in the very heart of his most famous painting. As the data built up, the researchers noticed something else. Every major phrase was positioned according to a precise mathematical code. When mapped digitally, the letters formed geometric alignments that pointed directly to the center of Jesus' figure, the focal point of the painting. But there, within that central
note
Jesus'
thing right
figure,
there. That's the musical notes. I don't know how to read all that, but
the focal point of the painting. But there, within that central area, was something no one had ever documented before. Underneath the original pigment of Jesus' robe, the AI identified an almost invisible inscription. The words were so faint that only hyperspectral imaging could detect them.
Hyperspectral.
When translated, the message read, "Truth belongs not to the saints, but to those who seek it in silence. That sentence became the most discussed finding of the entire project. It carried both wisdom and defiance. It suggested that truth was not a divine gift, but something humans had to search for themselves. A dangerous idea during Da
I had
Vinci's
seen that about their hands being in this position of musical notes.
time, when the church held power over knowledge. The researchers compared these findings with Leonardo's other works. In many of his sketches, he had drawn human figures trapped within geometric shapes, symbols of reason bound by faith. In his private notes, he often warned about blind obedience and the danger of believing without questioning. The hidden messages in The Last Supper echoed those same ideas, but on a far grander scale. When the full
Hold on, I want to do this. Like, I just found the music, the hidden song in The Last Supper, and we're gonna watch this real quick. Because I just showed it and I wanted to cover it. So,
Mona Lisa actually Leonardo da Vinci dressed as a woman? Did Kyle Andre murder Anna Mendieta? Tonight I'll answer your questions regarding the hidden mystery within Leonardo da Vinci's The Last Supper. Watch till the end to find out some more hidden secrets within The Last Supper. Have you ever looked at The Last Supper and thought, huh, that bread looks like musical?
I just wanted to hear the music. But why did it go backwards? Shouldn't it go from left to right? Doesn't music go from left to right? Am I wrong? The notes are facing the wrong way too. So now I'm going to have the Men in Black and the Vatican on my ass for the show I did today. The shit I do for you people. The horrors I face. I'm not even scared of the Men in Black. It's the Catholic priest coming up into my place that I'm worried about.
Translation was completed. It contained nearly 40 separate phrases, each linked to different sections of the painting. Together, they seemed to form a single message. A message that warned of human corruption disguised as holiness. The AI-generated reconstruction of the text revealed this overarching line. Faith without reason is the sleep of truth.
Oh my gosh, is that really, do you think that was early, like Da Vinci innovated backmasking? Yeah, Brian Stevens, this backmasking is like playing your record backwards.
Those who wake shall see what was forbidden. That final statement,
which was part of my like when I was a kid and I did all my I don't want to call it occult grifting, but I grifted off my fellow classmates a bit, I suppose. They were all children of evangelical people, and I had a Ouija board and all the witchy stuff, and people already thought my family was witchy, so I leaned into it, and then one of the things that I would do was I got in trouble for it too, but play albums backwards. But like, hey, you can ask a question and then we'll play this backwards and it'll tell you the answer.
Stunned everyone who read it. It suggested that Leonardo had intentionally embedded a warning, that one day, in the distant future, his hidden words would be revealed and people would finally understand what he meant. For centuries, countless eyes had looked upon the Last Supper, admiring its beauty and emotion. Yet beneath that beauty, a quiet voice had been waiting. A voice from Leonardo himself, speaking through time. Now, thanks to artificial intelligence, that voice had been heard. But the revelation brought not only awe, but fear. Because if Leonardo's message was true, then the painting was never meant to be only about faith. It was about power, knowledge, and the danger of what happens when one is used to control the other. When the truth finally escaped the walls of the refectory, the world itself began to tremble under its weight.
Please have some nuns put me across their laps, Maya. It's the only thing I've ever wanted. Why isn't there a back darts backwards, I guess.
The aftermath. Fear, denial, and revelation. The moment the hidden words from the Last Supper...
Y'all be making me try to read backwards. I ain't in the mood for it, motherfuckers.
became public, the world erupted in disbelief and wonder. What started as a quiet research project had turned into one of the most shocking discoveries in art history. The idea that Leonardo da Vinci had buried secret messages inside his masterpiece spread across headlines, social media, and newsrooms everywhere. Historians called it revolutionary. Religious groups called it dangerous. The Vatican, caught in the center of the storm, issued a short statement.
Did you all hear about this AI thing with Da Vinci and the Last Supper? Because this is the first I'm hearing about it.
Saying the church would examine the claims carefully. Behind closed doors, however, officials were alarmed. The messages did not attack faith.
You know what happened behind closed doors in the Vatican, do ya? Oh, very interesting indeed.
Directly, but their meaning challenged centuries of belief. They spoke of truth hidden by power, of knowledge lost to control, ideas that many thought too bold for Da Vinci's time. In Florence, the researchers who made the discovery were overwhelmed. They had spent months quietly working in their lab, but now reporters camped outside their doors, demanding interviews and proof. The team released one final report, confirming that the phrases were real and that their handwriting matched Leonardo's known mirror script style. It was undeniable. The messages were his.
Mirror script, so it's written backwards.
Across the world, the revelation sparked a wave.
That's why the music is backwards. You gotta look at it in a mirror to read the music notes.
Of debate. Some said Leonardo had predicted the future, warning that reason and truth would one day rise above blind faith. Others believed the AI had read too much into natural cracks and patterns. But those who had studied Da Vinci's work knew better.
That's the correct one, because you can train it to.
His mind never left anything to chance. Every shape, shadow, and proportion in his art served a purpose. Museums began showcasing digital overlays of the painting, allowing people to see where the hidden words had been found. Visitors lined up for hours, staring at the faint inscriptions under the surface, words that had waited centuries to be read.
Alleged inscriptions. I don't believe you about the inscriptions. I don't believe the AI about the inscriptions. I think your blind trust in AI is ridiculous.
For many, the discovery felt spiritual in its own way, as if Da Vinci himself had planned for future generations to uncover what his own could not. But not everyone was inspired. Some religious leaders condemned the findings, calling them an invasion of sacred art. Protests erupted outside museums in Italy, demanding the scans be stopped. Yet, despite the outrage, the images continued to circulate.
You really can't demand the scans be stopped, though. Once the... Like, people have been scanning and examining the Last Supper for hundreds of years at this point. Like, people are still going to keep running scans on it through all kinds of different stuff. Through chemistry and all sorts of different methodology to see if there's anything secret inside of it, because people love a good conspiracy.
Across the world faster than anyone could control. In the end, the Last Supper remained unchanged, still hanging quietly in its Milan refectory, its colours faded, but its mystery alive. Only now, people looked at it differently. Beneath the painted faces of Jesus and his disciples, they saw something more, a hidden message from a man who lived centuries ahead of his time. Leonardo da Vinci had always believed that truth was hidden in plain sight, waiting for those with eyes to see. And now, through the power of technology, his voice has been heard again, whispering not just through art, but across time.
Allegedly. Well, allegedly, yeah. And that was Secret World Files doing the Last Supper conspiracy. What a fun one that turned out to be. So what do you all think? I ran the poll, and it seems like nobody experienced the letters, so I'm not alone there. I was kind of worried that I was dumb, but I know my Hive is smart, so if they couldn't see the letters either, well, what does that tell you? Maybe the letters weren't there at all, and they crunched that AI and said, hey, I need you to find this. It's very important that you find something that makes me feel like there's secret Jesus messages in these paintings. And the AI is like, I'll do my best. I'll give you something. I don't know how accurate it's going to be, but I'll give you something. That's how AI works. It's like a eager dog who wants to who wants to please you. So, if you disagree, say so down below in the comments. Yeah, please remember to be kind. Take care. We'll see you next time. All right, live from the Hive audience. Don't leave because we have more show to come for you. More show coming at you. Thank you. I love this dress. That's why I'm like trying to show my whole body because I look so cute in this dress and I love it. I've had this dress for years too, and it still holds up. It's got this nice texture to it, and it breathes a lot better than you would think. Do you want me to do your makeup? This is I was apologizing for my makeup earlier because it's some leftover Halloween on my face from last night. Don't go anywhere because we are going to be right back with the final segment of the show, Breeze Bestiary. And you're not going to want to miss this story, this level of coverage, because I found like a cross section that's that's interesting. All right, I will be right back.
If it takes forever, I will wait for you for 1,000 summers. I will wait for you till you're back beside me, till I'm holding you, till I hear you sigh.
All right, my beauties and bees, welcome to Breeze Bestiary, where we're continuing the autumn of the man-eaters, which might be followed by winter of the man-eaters, because they just keep on rolling out. This week, I've chosen, all my other segments of the show I leave to the audience to choose, but I like to choose the coverage for Breeze Bestiary, because it's whatever I'm feeling. But needless to say, based on the thumbnail, if you clicked on this, you know, we're talking about Piranha from the Amazon. Named after the Piranha River, though, which is how I remember how to spell it. Otherwise, I wouldn't ever remember how to spell it. I already spelled it wrong. Piran, which is Piran. It's a river in South America. And then there is HA. Just put that on the end of it.
Start.
But I found a really weird video talking about man-eating piranha attack. I wanted to share it with you because it was really weird when I was looking for what I was going to use. And this came up. I was like, holy shit, this is the weirdest coverage I've ever seen. So, buckle in.
Shalom. Start this lesson off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakah Kadash. All right, and today I got this Newsweek article, and as you can see, the title is Man Eaten by Piranhas After Jumping in Lake to Flee from Bees. All right, and you know, just reading a title like this, you know, this should cause all of us to, you know, be on our P's and Q's, man. You know, because the Most High is handing out horrific judgments.
The Most High will send bees at you, and so you jump in the water to get eaten by piranha.
People left and right, okay? And, you know, the more and more wicked that, you know, the people on the earth become, the more judgments that the Lord is going to hand out, okay?
Yeah, I saw that Wednesday opening episode, pilot episode. We're supposed to be starting to watch Wednesday at some point.
And, you know, all of us, you know, even as the believers, even as, you know, those that push this word, you know, we have to repent on the daily. You know, we have to tighten up. You know, we have to seek the Heavenly Father and, you know, beg Him to have mercy on us, man, because, you know, we all go off, all right? Every day we go off and we transgress, you know, so, you know,
we all go off. What does going off have to do with the guy getting eaten by piranha, though?
This, man, you know, this should cause you to tighten up. You know, this should cause you to have fear.
He's really claiming
respect and reverence.
He's really claiming, it's Newsweek, it looks like. He's really claiming that God made this guy, attacked this guy with bees, and then he got eaten by piranhas. Let's see. Man eaten by piranhas and bees. Okay. Let's pull up that article. See what it actually says. Okay. So, man eaten by piranha after jumping into lake to flee from bees. A man was reportedly trying to escape a bee attack when he jumped and drowned in a lake filled with piranhas who disfigured his body. So there's already a mischaracterization of events, right? He jumped in the water and drowned. Probably had an allergic reaction to the bee sting and was not able to swim to escape and drown. And then the piranha ate his corpse. Not that he jumped into the water and piranhas just started feasting on him. A man who was reportedly eaten by piranha after he jumped into a lake to escape from a group of bees. A group of bees, also known as a swarm. Newsweek. Jesus. That attacked him and his friends. 30-year-old was fishing on Sunday with two of his friends at a lake in the municipality of Brasilândia in southern Brazil. Let's find that on the map. But Authorities told Brazilian newspaper Estado de Minas, according to YouTube News. Yeah, I'm going to see about pulling this up on the map here. On the map, on the map, on the map. So, yeah, here we go. This is the region here. And it is, yeah, southern Brazil. Usually you think about Piranha. Yeah, here's the Amazon way up here. I believe that's the Piranha here, right? No, that's, it's somewhere south of there. I don't know my way around South America by heart or anything. But all these rivers have Piranha in them. This guy's just happened to be in this river way, way down here. What is this river? Piracusa River. But yeah, I don't know if it was a lake, one of the little lakes off of this river or what, but this is the region. I don't see a lot of lakes, honestly. Maybe a lot of people, when they say lake, they mean pond, though. Or what I think of as a pond. Maybe I'm doing it wrong, but I think a lake being a lot bigger than what some people will say, hey, that's a lake. Like, was it this? So, yeah. At one point, the men all jumped into the lake to escape the bees, but discovered shortly afterward that the lake was filled with piranha, carnivorous fish with razor-sharp teeth. Lad Bible reported. The man's two friends managed to swim to safety. Authorities reportedly found the man dead and 4 meters away from the shoreline after the fire department was called for help. The man's body was disfigured by the piranhas, which tore apart some parts of his body, including his face. It was not clear whether the man died or drowned, or died from drowning or from the piranha attack, but authorities said the man was found in a certain position that's commonly seen in drowning. Around 30 species of piranha reportedly live in South America's Amazon River basin. They also live in some areas of North America, Central America, and Hawaii, according to Yahoo News. Piranhas rarely attack, but the attacks can be fatal if they happen. In January 2015, a 6-year-old girl, Adrila Muniz, was found dead in Brazil at the Mayacura River near Monte Alegre. We're gonna find out on the map too. Okay, so that's definitely more Amazon. Yeah, that's more what you think about when you think of the Amazon. We can probably get down in here a little bit and have a look at a bodega, apparently. A very clean and orderly bodega, too. Owners should be proud. Get me down at the riverfront. Come on. Bush. Oh, the riverfront at night. Spooktacular. That's what I wanted to see. Vaguely dark shape of the boat. Anything else? Get me down by the waterfront. Come on. I want to see some man-eating fish. Shouldn't deny me my desires. It's rude. Wait, what was that? Oh, that's the place we just were right there. Feels like a little dock area. That's where we were. So, what's this one? Is it the same? Oh, there we go. At least it's during the day. There's the river and some boats. Some big boats, too. Yeah. Continuing. After she was feasted on by a large group of piranha, the BBC reported. The girl was with her grandfather and 4 other children on board a vessel that was turned over by a storm. All children were saved except for the 6-year-old. Her family told local media that the girl drowned shortly after the vessel capsized in the river, but they suggested she might have died already before the piranha attack. Yeah, piranha eating corpses is more of the thing. And when we do the episode on rats, that's going to be more of the thing too. Although piranhas are mostly native to South America, some have been found in different said the lake is not their original habitat, and that the fish must have been dumped there by someone after being taken out of an aquarium. Yeah, because it is outside of the Amazon basin for sure. The piranha were also found in other parts of the U.S. over the past few decades, including some that were removed from 3 different lakes by Florida officials. According to California Department of Fish and Wildlife, the carnivorous fish have yet to establish and maintain a population in any body of water. The California Department of Fish and Wildlife worried that if piranha were introduced outside of their native habitat, they will not only prey on native species, but compete with them for food and habitat as well, which could lead to the reduction in the abundance and diversity of native species. Yeah. So, when it comes to a piranha, they will eat us. They will. I mean, we are delicious, but usually they aren't the ones to kill us. They take little nippy bites out of us, sure. They'll take a nip at you, but they're not. That's kind of savage, but they're not like out to kill you. They just want a chunk of your meat to eat. It just is the problem is if enough of them want enough chunks of your meat to eat, you're gonna be in trouble. But generally speaking, people that even are attacked by piranha and walk away with just smaller little bites on their legs and limbs. But if someone drowns and their body's left in the water with piranha, they're gonna have fun at it. Yeah. If there's no cat, it's not a bodega. I'll take your word for it. Right-handed Sith said 2 things. 1, lake versus pond. A lake has an inlet and an outlet. A pond does not. And 2, those were huge crop circles. Yeah, around. Well, the ponds that I grew up around, we had what was I thinking about? We had creeks flowing into them, right? I wouldn't have called them lakes though. But they were fed by little streams and creeks. Sometimes they only flow during rain, but so a lake has an inlet. Interesting. All right. Well, I'm going to call it there for Bree's Bestiary. We've been going for 2 hours and 51 minutes. Usually the show runs right around that, between 2 hours and 45 to 3 hours. So we're right on schedule. It's been a fun morning. Look for the polls, because there will be more polls coming out. Either later today or tomorrow probably, but we'll see how that goes. But please remember to be kind, take care, and we will see you next time.
With all the noise.
This shit, bro. Oh, hell no. No. Man. Hey, bro. Hey. Bro.
Noise.
This shit, bro. Oh, hell no. No. Man. Hey.